Guys, it's season 3. You want our powers back, right? Need our powers for season 3. Touch the ball. Go ahead, touch it. Come on.
I know I do.
Come on, touch it.
It's morphin' time.
With our powers combined.
Pete, come on, touch it.
Okay.
Touch the ball. Season 3! Welcome to season 3 of the Mad Good Knicks show. I'm Far, that's T, that's J, that's Steph, that's Pete.
1, 2, 3.
We are back. Make sure you hit that like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit us up on the other social medias, Twitter, Facebook, Instagreasy. Guys, we are a couple games into the season. I want to ask you, has anything changed with the New York Knicks?
Yes, I'm extremely excited.
I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it.
So you're not usually excited.
No, I'm not. I mean, there's a lot of things from this team that we usually expect, but I'm actually very surprised by the results thus far. Yes, we're only 1 and 2, but we're putting a lot of fight into these games. We didn't know what to expect from some of these kids, because that's what we are at times, kids, but goddamn, we're playing beautifully.
All right.
Jay, on the money. We're 1 and 2, but we can easily be 3 and 0, right?
Yes!
The 2 games that we lost
yeah.
were both by 2 points. Came down to the wire. One happened to be a misplay by Tim Hardaway on the defense. Happens. The last was a couple missed free throws. That happens as well. So guys, I think we're in a great position. A lot of things have changed.
Yeah, I mean, this might be like the opposite of the curse that we had the last 2 years where we started really well and then started sucking after that. So now the fact that we're sucking in the beginning might mean we'll be on the rise towards the end of the season.
I have to agree with all you guys.
Thanks.
The math definitely works out. We're 1 and 2, but we could be 3 and 0
For sure.
if you do the math. But I'm gonna say things have definitely changed. I see the players fighting a hell of a lot more. I noticed that we're not a complete third quarter liability, and despite the results, it's so early in the season. I don't like to make any opinions until about 20 to 30 games in, but so far I'm pleased with what I see, at least from the defensive fight.
Yeah.
So
we
got
got a lot to cover. We got a lot to
until
talk
20 games
about.
in?
We got
I'll be back
rookies,
later.
we got coaches, we got the whole entire Knicks roster to cover. Guys, stay tuned. It's gonna be fun. Welcome to season 3 of the Mad Good Knicks
We're
show.
so happy to be back. We're so happy to have you guys back.
Still broke, but we made it.
All right, guys, so we're here to talk about the Knicks rotation. Of course, a couple of different changes that we've seen throughout this whole rotation, from the starting 5 to the bench depth, and what our general thoughts and feelings on it are. Of course, Trey Burke starting at point guard, Tim Hardaway Jr. at shooting guard, Frank Ntilikina at small forward.
Shocker.
Shocker indeed. Lance Thomas at the power forward, or the other forward, and Enes Kanter at the center spot. I think the biggest surprise there at the start of the season was Frank Ntilikina, of course. I think that his defense has definitely proved itself, but the offense is looking rather anemic with him next to Lance Thomas. I would be comfortable saying collectively that is the weakest pair of forwards in the league right now on the offensive side.
He did go on a 7-point stretch
He did.
the other night.
He did.
Fizz even said it. Nobody had anything going. He said, let me just give it to Frank. Let's see what he does. And he was surprised.
One thing about Frank at the small forward position is that he's already kind of a liability as a point guard. I don't think he's a natural point guard just yet. He doesn't have the handle. He doesn't have, I don't know, the moxie right now to make the right play. But I think as a forward, he's in a better position on the court, sort of off ball, where he can make more driving plays. I've noticed that he's done that more in that position. And that's maybe because, like I said, he's on the weak side, and then he gets more of those opportunities than he would trying to create for himself.
Also goes back to positionless basketball. Because if you got a forward who can handle the ball in Frank, then you're talking your 1 through 3 guys can all bring the ball up the court, and that's what Coach Fizz has always preached.
We're spending a lot of time talking about Frank, but I've been thoroughly impressed with him thus far this season. His defense has been tremendous, as we all know, but as far as, like you guys said, positionless basketball, I see him bringing up the ball occasionally. I've seen him be more aggressive than I have even leading up to the preseason, I haven't seen him be this aggressive. I've seen him take to the basket, and he catches the ball and he'll pull up from three.
Looks
even
like
though he can't shoot threes.
saved it for the season.
He pulls threes now.
Yeah.
So I find that quite interesting. I'm not too thrilled with Lance Thomas at the 4. Prior to Knox getting injured, I would have liked to see him start there. I think something needs to happen within that lineup because we're not getting enough offense to start. And this is 3 straight games we're starting off either 0 for 7 to start the game off. We're sluggish. A lot of things aren't happening. So I'd like to see more offense.
We still have 79 games to go.
Let's move the focus to the point guard though. Do you guys like Trey Burke?
We don't have a
point
choice.
guard?
We don't have a choice.
So it's a no. You don't like it.
I like it because I have no choice. By default.
I need Trey to find his rhythm, and I saw that going up against Kyrie Irving. In the first quarter, he was a little bit timid. He was scared, and then by the fourth quarter, you saw him shaking and baking out there.
And right now, our point guard position is looking very weak. I know when Trey Burke plays well, obviously the results are better, but I don't think he's a consistent enough guy as far as being a true point guard in terms of getting people involved. Like when he blows up, it's great, but when he's not distributing, then we just have a complete hole.
He is our highest distributor, though. He is distributing about 31% of the time.
By default, because he's the point guard and he starts
What are you
games.
talking
He did
about?
have 9
Alonzo
assists.
Trier comes in as a point guard at times. He's only assisting on 2%.
All right,
So
but he's
he's
still
over.
dropping 15.
I know,
games,
ISO's up. Yeah, he's averaging 12.
13.
I say about Trey Burke is that
Basketball Reference, NBA.com.
what I think about Trey Burke is that he's a very well balanced point guard. Like if the game went down the stretch and let's say you needed a ball in some point guard's hands, I wouldn't put it in Frank's hands. I wouldn't put it in Moutier's hands. I wouldn't put it in Trier's hands. By default, I think.
Let's get to him.
I think by default I'd go with Trey Burke. He's well balanced, but Alonzo Trier has his offensive strengths, not really defensive strength. Trey Burke is in the middle somewhere. He's the most reliable with the ball. I don't know, just our point guard positions just seem a little too specialized in various areas. We don't have one point guard that's a go-to that we, they can kill it in both ends.
Let's talk about the 2 constants in the starting 5, and that's Tim Hardaway Jr. and Enes Kanter. I think it was without a doubt they would be the surefire starters for the Knicks.
Yeah.
Yes.
What have you guys seen about them that you like or dislike?
Chucking up fucking shots. THJ has been shooting a whole lot. But you know what? Like ever since Fizz told him about he was expecting a lot from him on the defensive end, I've noticed that offensively he's been really putting in work, being a lot more aggressive, shooting a lot more shots. And that's kind of what you want because we really haven't had an offensive leader throughout the years. And while KP is out and Knox hopefully comes back soon, hope we see you soon, bro. I think THJ has to step in and take that role.
I'm with you, dude. I think they've both improved for 2 various different reasons.
Significantly.
Tim Hardaway Jr. may not show on the stat line per se because he does take a lot of shots, but you got to look at the kind of shots that he's been taking. A lot of his threes have been wide open, aggressive, and he has the green light. We all know that, but they've been wide open. He's been going to the basket a lot more this season, which we've all been asking for. He's getting to the line, which is impressive. So I'm thoroughly impressed with Tim Hardaway Jr. And Enes Kanter, man, he came in tip-top shape, and it shows. He's up and down the court. He's rebounding. He's been our go-to scorer for majority of the game. So
when he's not doing well, the Knicks aren't doing well. 100% Enes Kanter is
the heart and soul.
Probably the best player on the court right now.
I agree.
That's ideal trade bait.
You went there.
Yikes.
You went there.
Continue that.
Tim Hardaway, I almost think that at this point, maybe he's taking too many shots.
There's no such thing.
Just because
Kobe would tell you to shut up.
I've noticed a lot of plays, especially in the last 2 games with the Celtics and the Nets, is that we do tend to jack up a lot of long-distance shots and 3-point shots without really moving the ball inside and exploring some easier opportunities. And the other night, Lance Thomas and Frank Ntilikina combined for 4 attempts when Tim Hardaway had 22 for the night. I'd like to see more from Frank and Lance. Right now, I think Lance is a great player, but I think he's probably the weakest out of all the positions that we're looking at. He's the weakest at that position. And getting KP back would really solve a lot of those issues and completely change the dynamic. Because right now, there's a lot that trickles down from that power forward position that affects us in other ways. We can't play Kevin Knox at the 4 because we got to play Lance. We got to push him out of there. Or we can, though. We got to play him off the bench. It forces our hand in a lot of awkward ways right now.
No, that's a
You know
good
what?
point.
Speaking of Lance Thomas shooting more, I would like to see him develop a catch and shoot game. I would just like to see
I would like to see him
really
develop
shooter.
offense.
Absolutely. Because every time he takes to the basket, I cringe. His floaters, I cringe. He needs to sit in the corner, feed the ball to Enes Kanter, let the double team come, kick it out to Lance. I need to see him just shoot threes. That's it.
No disrespect to him. He's 30 years old. I'm not trying to develop him and things of that nature.
Yeah.
No disrespect.
With Tim
I
Hardaway,
what do you want from him?
with Tim
I don't
Hardaway.
want much from him. I want him to be the leader and be the vocal
But
coach.
his
as
role
well.
used to be the catch and shoot player.
What happened?
It used to, well,
that's what I'm
I mean,
saying.
He
He
does
wasn't
have
knocking
that
down
head
shots.
injury.
He's not knocking down
He
shots.
practicing them.
I think he's practicing a lot.
I don't want to
He's a
see
hard
him
worker.
take it to the basket.
I
Our
just
impression,
think
of
he's
him,
maxed
our
out.
impression of him was definitely better when he was playing that role.
Agreed.
If we
Agreed.
remember.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, with Tim Hardaway, I think Coach Fizz is putting him in positions where he wants to see the type of player Tim is going to be or should be.
Yeah.
And those are the type of positions that he's putting.
This is the first time I've seen
So
a
I'm
coach
okay.
actually emphasize wanting to see Tim Hardaway be a complete.
I'd love,
Absolutely.
I'd love to see
Awesome.
Timmy get more involved in also like distributing as well. I think he's got the knack
Yeah.
for it. He
I-
can get to the
he needs to
basket.
be
First game, he had
focused,
5
though.
assists. Since
Because
then,
if
he
what
did.
we're asking
Yeah.
for from him is offense, I don't need him to be focused on assisting and
But that's
creating
still
for
offense.
other people.
I
I
mean,
mean,
why
it
don't
is
we-
offense.
why don't we-
gotta play team ball?
I think
We're
it
asking
fits
if you
within the
have
flow of the
right. Team
offense,
ball.
sure, but I think he is creating well for himself and Ennis as well, in the sense that Ennis is running like good screens for him, and he's able to come around, curling around very well, hitting those 3-point shots that are not easy to do.
All right.
I
As
agree.
well, Ennis Kanter hitting the 3-point shots. Thank you, sir.
That work
Shot.
paid off. That work paid off, man.
One shot, he took 3.
All right,
I'm
we
expecting
gotta
about
we gotta
6.
move on. We gotta move on. We gotta move on to the bench. So we have Alonzo Trier that we have to talk about.
Yes.
Noah Vonleh that we have to talk about.
Yes.
Ron Baker, Damian Dotson, those two kind of round up the full bench rotation there. Vonleh looks like Kyle O'Vonleh, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly,
A mix of Draymond Green, KO, and Harrison Barnes without the shot.
Without the
Damn,
shot.
without the shot.
He's Brolic. No, I
I've
love
been
what
impressed.
he's doing. He's going in there.
He's
I don't think he
averaging
should start.
9
I don't think he should start. I think he's a valuable bench player. I don't think he's going to make it as a starter.
It's
but
a
I would actually
spark.
like
It's
to
a
see him
spark off
start.
the
He
He's
started
a
one
spark.
I
preseason
don't
game,
think
and I
he's
wasn't
spark
a
off
I
fan.
don't think he can start, but he's definitely.
He's not
Spot
gonna.
starter.
He's not gonna rack up the
On the
stats.
defensive
He's
end.
not gonna rack up the stats, but he's gonna make a
He's
difference.
averaging
again.
9 and 7.
But he's
right
gonna
now,
rack up
3
the
games.
rebounding stats. I'll tell
Bro,
you
that's
that.
pretty
fantastic.
impressive.
Solid.
Bro, I'll say
Yeah.
this, with the second unit, I think we move the ball better. Because I feel we find players that isolate with the starting unit, and at times things don't go well, and they continue to isolate even more.
Yeah.
The second unit continues
Well, you also
to
got
pass the
Trier
ball.
who
Yeah,
can actually
yeah.
penetrate.
Let me ask you guys this, because with the second unit, we don't have a legitimate second unit. It's kind of just been plug and play. Whoever's hot gets the minutes.
Yes.
We saw last night, Frank wasn't in there down the stretch. Why is that? Because the lineup, what we had, was working,
Yeah.
So there is no set piece. There's no set player that, okay, you're in the game now. All right, it's your turn to go in, except Alonzo Trier.
You also
Alonzo
called Trier being in the fourth. Staying
Yeah,
in the fourth.
I
You called
had
it.
to. He came in
We were
with
texting.
1 minute left in the third, and I was like, Trier's gonna play the whole fourth because Trier's that spark that we need. He's averaging 15, 13, 12. You take it.
12.7 if you
So,
round up.
so
the
Ron,
data.
Ron Baker
12.7,
though, Ron
13,
Baker's our
10.
backup point guard right now. How we
I'm
feeling?
happy with
He's
that.
earning his
I love
contract.
the- Baker's been
Defense.
scrappy.
Defense.
Scrappy as nails, bro.
He's doing as much as he could have with the Over Valley contract.
He's scrappy, but as the years are going on, he seems more and more timid when he pulls up for his shot. His first year under Hornacek, he seemed way more confident. I thought
Yeah,
by
with
this
that
time he'd
corner
be a
three.
lot better. Yeah, but now it just seems every time he gets the shot, he's
I don't see him
timid.
getting in position, though, as
Exactly.
much anymore for
Something's
that
missing.
shot.
Yeah, something's missing. I don't know what it is about him, but he definitely does scrap.
Probably somebody that draws defense. You know what I mean? There's not
Yeah.
that guy on the
But that's
floor.
where, like, I'd love for Enes Kanter to come in. There were plenty of times last night in the game where Enes Kanter would take the ball, he's posting up, and everyone's just standing on the three-point line.
Yeah.
More picture and rolls with Enes Kanter, Ron Baker. Get some moves, get some shots, get some pass outs.
I noticed that we just work so hard for any of the shots that we do get, and a lot of them are just tough shots, and very rarely. Well, Clyde Frazier said something during the Celtics game, where we were playing a lot of east to west basketball and not so much north
North to
I
south.
don't have that point guard.
And yeah, and that was 100% what we were doing. That east to west is just you reacting to the defense, kind of trying to move you away from getting into the paint. North south creates more opportunities for cuts, back cuts, and then
It fucks with their rotation.
yeah, and it wouldn't just be like, okay, Enes Kanter scoring now or THJ scoring now. There could be more of an inside-out dynamic that would create more driving opportunities.
Yeah.
So back to your point about moving the ball when the bench is in, they move the ball more. I think that's probably because their roles are less defined. Then they kind of just play basketball more naturally. Whereas when you have a lot of the starters, it's kind of like THJ is the shot maker, this guy's that. So then you kind of maybe get into these routines.
But to go off your point, I think some of the roles are defined because in that second unit, we didn't see Dotson in the first 2 games, but in that third game,
I want to see Dotson.
hey,
Yeah, now I wanna see
I
Dotson.
think so. I think we will see Dotson
He's
more.
gotta be
And
more
now
consistent.
that Knox is out for at least a week, that would open up an opportunity for Mario
Honestly,
Hezonja.
yeah.
However,
give
I'm
him
not too
another
thrilled.
week. Give him another week. Give Knox, bro. There's no rush to this season.
No,
I don't,
zero.
Even Mitchell Robinson, I don't think he should be
what
playing.
I'm saying, I think you're missing the point here, is who would be filling in for Knox right now. Not
I
Mario
disagree with
Hezonja.
you. I like Mario. I like the fact that the ball moves with him. He handles the ball well. I don't think he scores effective.
I don't think he's doing anything right.
Yeah, I don't
Really?
think he is
I think when
either.
he gets on the court, we're a worse team.
Guys, am
looks
I the only
lost.
person here?
No, I've seen
I
much
wanna see
more
more from him.
On the court.
I want to see more from him.
You
I
wanna
want to
see
see
more?
more from him.
All
But I
right.
don't think he's done anything to deserve any more
Yeah.
minutes.
No.
I think
Nothing.
a small lineup with Dotson has deserved more than Hezonja.
You guys saw that
Um,
the 4 guards that they ran in Cantor. That's
Yeah.
impressive.
That was. All right, we got a lot more to say, obviously, but we want to hear from you in the comments. Let us know what you think about the Knicks rotation. Let us know what you guys think about the starting 5. Make sure you hit us up in the comments. We got much more on the way. It's the Mad Good Knicks Show.
Yeah, what are you guys gay?
No, you.
No.
You got cut off with that.